still waiting to see if the courts will block the controversial and pricey attempt to go and get less traffic in New York City. MTA. The MTA hopes to lessen traffic and pollution in Manhattan. You're going to have to wait a little longer for a decision, or maybe even more than a little longer. A gamut of people, from teachers to politicians, pleading their cases in front of a judge today. Were their lawsuits compelling enough to put the brakes on this plan? The MTA, by the way, is set to start charging drivers 6 weeks from Monday. Eyewitness News reporter N.J. Burkett live in Lower Manhattan with what happened in court today. Newt.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. You ask a very good question. There are currently 7 lawsuits. Some of them could postpone congestion pricing. Others could scrap it altogether. 3 of those lawsuits were heard in U.S. District Court here today, demanding new environmental studies while accusing the MTA of fast-tracking the plan.
Critics say congestion pricing will move the congestion and the pollution somewhere else, out of Midtown and into places like Queens and Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Staten Island. By one estimate, traffic on the FDR could increase by more than 20%.
They're reallocating the congestion and pollution to these other areas of the city to benefit the business district in Manhattan.
Alan Klinger represents the city's teachers union in one of 3 lawsuits heard in U.S. District Court today, naming the MTA and the federal regulators who signed off on congestion pricing. Adverse environmental and socioeconomic consequences will result, said one lawsuit, naming residents of the Lower East Side, the South Bronx, Queens County, East Harlem, and communities bordering the Central Business District that will be impacted by increased traffic, congestion, pollution, utilization of scarce parking.
The environmental review was fast-tracked to reach an outcome that they had already determined, and their concern isn't so much about the environment as it is about raising money for an MTA that doesn't seem to manage their money pretty well.
It's all projected to take effect on Sunday, June 30th, when license plate readers and E-ZPass scanners will slap a toll on virtually every vehicle entering Manhattan south of 60th Street. Expected to raise $1 billion a year to maintain and upgrade New York's regional transportation system. In court, lawyers argued over whether it was already too late to challenge congestion pricing.
We did 4,000 pages of study. We are confident, but the more important signal to our New Yorkers is we have all the infrastructure ready to go. That's what is the indication of our level of confidence, and we are taking all the steps.
Well, Lieber has been confident throughout. His critics insist tonight that that's premature, but Justice Louis Lyman seemed to push back on many of the arguments contained in the lawsuits. Could be several weeks before he hands down his decision.